Hello, everyone, and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, whatever day it is, for you all. Hopefully things are catching up. There we go. Welcome to the show. Hello, Pasta. Hello, Micro. Hello, John Allen Wilson. I feel like you change your name every time. WF6I. I hope you all are having yourselves, and Autoblaze. You all are having yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. It's snowing here, which is fun because it's not, well, it'd be more fun if it was the apocalyptic kind of snow. It's not the apocalyptic kind of show. Evan Williams, baller bitches, always baller bitches. That's still my favorite thing to be called is a baller bitch. I think that's fantastic. I want to be called a baller bitch more often. It makes me think like I'm good at basketball, which for someone my height is impossible. Snow is fun until someone crashes their tires. Their cars. When was it? Was it last Monday? I think it was last Monday, like a week ago. It snowed for like the first time in Omaha this winter. It's whatever, fall. I think we're still in fall, right? Bunch of nonsense. It snowed and like everyone died. Not really, but there was a lot of car crashes all over town, which is still to this day amazes me because it snows here every year around now. I missed it. I wasn't in the snow because I went to work like super early, so I got to work before all the snow started. And then when I got there, everyone was like dying. So yeah. I really, right now it's like flurrying a little bit. It's not like the apocalyptic snow, which makes me a little sad because I have nothing to do today besides sit inside and study and do this show. So I was really hoping for an apocalyptic kind of snow because then I get to feel all good about the fact that I don't have to be outside. But was not the case. Was not the case today. But it is snowing. I got myself coffee to start myself off with, Hobbs mug. Because I'm a slight hungover. Slight hungover is the way to put it. I was out way too late. I had dinner with some of my coworkers. Oh, I forgot a cup. Ooh, I'm gonna have to see if my wife could bring me a cup. A glass for beer, but we'll get there. So yeah, I went out with friends and stuff last night, and we went to this place called Beercade, which has beer and arcades, and it's fantastic. And when I got home, I had like $20 worth of quarters still left in my pocket, so I have $20 worth of quarters to spend. Oh my goodness. Oh, I do want the world to end sometimes, I swear. Okay, so with that said, what do we got? We got welcome, we got housekeeping. Housekeeping. Today we actually do have a little bit of housekeeping today. There will be no show next Sunday. There'll be no show next Sunday. I want to say there'll be a show the week after that, but I'm not 100% remembering if I'm back in town then or not. I'm going to go to California, so I'm going to be gone. I leave next Saturday afternoon, and then I come back, I think, the Saturday after, or the Sunday after. I don't remember. But there will definitely not be a show next week. There will be a show the week after if I'm here. If I'm in town, but I don't remember. I'll have to look at my plane tickets. So yeah, I'll be gone for a little bit, just hanging out in California, going to the beach, eating good food, and spending Christmas with my family, which I haven't done in like 5 years, which I think is a thing that people like to do, is spend Christmases with their families. I'm not much for Christmas, so for me, it's whatever. I like, I'll have fun visiting my family, obviously, but I won't. A show on the 29th would be the best thing. A show on the 29th would be the best thing. Why? Is that the end of the world? Is it the end of the world? Okay. There won't be a show. Oh yeah, you were like what, 10 days away, 12 days away from visiting? I forget. I keep track of your track. I don't keep track, but I see your timer, your countdown. And I forget how many days there will be. I can do like a special. I could do a special awkward pasta and microbloganism show just for funzy. Oh, you said snow or show? God, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. I can't read H's from N's. So yeah, so there won't be a show and things and stuff. So that's it. That's all there is for housekeeping. Beer of the week. I don't have a glass, so we might pause out here. for a second while I go get a glass. This is one of the beers that I picked up during my trip to Denver. I've already had this one, so this one shouldn't be a surprise, I hope. I think it kicked my ass when I had it in Denver, so there's a good chance that it's also a growler, so there's a very, very good chance it's going to kick my ass today. Because this thing is a beast. Like, look at this son of a bitch. This thing's huge. It's as big as my head. It's ridiculous. It didn't come with a description, and the website didn't have like what their beers were, so we're just gonna have to go with this is what I have. The name of the beer is a Reberesco. It's a stupid name. Not gonna lie to you, Woods Boss. You have very dumb names. One, your brewery sounds really dumb. Like, it's wonderful place. I had a lot of fun going to the brewery or the tasting room. I don't remember what it was, but it was really nice. Pretty good, like, great atmosphere. The staff was great and all that. Your name is dumb. Woods Boss is a very dumb name. And then the Riberesco is also a dumb name because I can't pronounce it, but that's just me. Check it. This is your obligatory Discord spam to annoy you during the live stream, followed by the obligatory comment about how your Mac sucks and your beer is weird. My beer is not weird. It's gonna be delicious, but I am gonna have to pause for a sec or two while I go get me a thingamabob, a glass to actually drink this. So enjoy, like, I don't know, this for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, we made it back. Everything's fine. Oh, I just hit that. That did not feel good. All right, we made it back. Get it right, brewing people. They should. The Woods don't bosses. They have sheaves. They do have sheaves. So you have 13 days before your flight. That is awesome. That's gonna be cool. I hope you two have plenty of fun. Who? Oh, there it is. Maybe. Oh, made a mess. Made a mess already. Oh goodness, that exploded everywhere. So, this, if I remember right, has a nice dark color. Oh my goodness, it smells like scotch. Look at that nonsense. It's like 99% scotch smell. Like 1% beer smell. But look at that color. Oh, that is a great color for beer. I am now covered in beer juice, and I have no way of wiping it off. So that's fantastic. Oh, it smells really good. It does have a little bit. It's a little bit too foamy at the moment, so I'm gonna hold off on trying it. Jumping in and trying it, but I do know what it tastes like, so it's fine. It is delicious. Which is why I bought a whole growler when I was in Denver. And like I said, it's a good location. It's a good brewery. So definitely, if you're in Denver, I would highly suggest to check them out. They had other really good beers too, not just that one. But that one was the one that I liked the most. So it got picked somewhere over here. All right, so we will give it a try now that it's less foamy. Delicious. It's a little bit more bitter than I remember, and I don't know if it's a little bit more bitter because of the coffee or because of the can, because it's been sitting in the can for like 2 weeks. But it's a little bit more bitter than I remember. It probably would have tasted better if I had it right away, instead of saving it for like 2 weeks later. But it's still good. It's still good. We'll take it. Oh look, Streamlabs has a charity thing. I should do a charity thing. I keep saying that and then I forget. It's very good. It is very good. It is very smooth. The bitterness might have been the coffee. Might have been the coffee that made the bitterness. Okay, so with that said, fantastic beer. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend this to this brewery if you are ever in the area of brewery things. Moving on to video menu, we have ourselves our video options for today. I did get a new one from Microorganism, so if you wanna vote for that one, I'm sure it'll be enjoyable. We have ourselves The Truman Show by ODD TV, Alpha Males by Joe Rogan, Greta Thunberg by Rationality Rules. She was Person of the Year, right? Time Magazine made her Person of the Year, and Trump was not happy about it, and it's fantastic. I love it. I love how angry conservatives are about a teenage girl. It's fantastic. Like, the fact that a teenage girl can get under the skin this much is amusing to no end. Like, I genuinely love it. We have Watchmen by Umbrella Guy, 7-Year-Old Transitioning by Blair White, Immigration by ARTV, and Get Married by PragerU. I think the title of the PragerU video is a little different than Get Married, but that's the one I got it. So if you would like to vote, and you'd like to vote for your favorite one, you can do an upside down I vote, and then the number of which would you of what you would like to vote for. There are the instructions. So yeah, what did I bought? I bought what? I bought the things. I bought the beers. I bought lots of beers. It is quite tasty. So yeah, we have lots of things to do all the things. We need to do a respectful towards the kids unless they disagree with us. It's true. Yeah, the Greta thing is always, God, it's fascinating. It's really truly is fascinating. I am very I just love it. I genuinely love it. What was the thing that people got all bit pissy because Barron, Trump's son, was brought up sometime, and people were like, "Oh no, that's too far. You're talking about children. You should leave children out of this." And yet, like, Greta gets just, you know, bunch of fucking weirdos. I swear, it's fine. So I am very happy that she got the Person of the Year, though. I think that's fantastic. And I don't know, maybe she'll actually inspire people to change. I doubt it, though. People seem to have gotten like the wrong message from her, probably on purpose, about her wanting change and whatnot. I think people got that she's trying to inspire change, and I think people are already getting like, oh, she's spoiled little girl and all this other stuff. So it's all a bunch of nonsense. Stop being nonsensical. Can't make a pun about Barron Trump's name, but you can talk shit about Greta as the president. Yep. Yeah, Lou used Barron's name as an example of how Trump can name his son Barron, but he can't make him a Baron. That's a funny one. I didn't realize that was it. Oh yeah, the Swedish expression. Yeah, I remember that. And I don't know what the Swedish expression is, so I'm not even gonna pretend. But it's I guess if you like literally translate if I then tell me if I'm getting this wrong. If you like literally translate the expression, it means to like hold someone up. Hold someone up to a wall or something, but it actually just means like hold someone accountable, which is what the expression actually means. Which a lot of like getting fired, it does not actually mean getting lit on fire or things like that. Up against a wall, holding someone accountable. Yeah. So it's So if you literally, but honestly, if you take words literally like that, you're not languaging correctly. Goddamn Swede need to learn American idioms. I know, right? How dare they speak in their own idioms? All just unbelievable. I think all of the viewers have voted for 7. I think so too. I think it's at 100% 7. Which I don't blame you. My main accounts have been blocked. I never typed anything wrong here, but I see how it goes. Shadow banning is real. Jose Gonzalez is live now. Boom, out. Who's that person? Who's Jose Gonzalez? Did we ban him? I don't know who they are. I don't know who Jose is. Not gonna lie, like, you left, which is fine. I don't know who you are, person. Yeah, okay, Jose. Okay, Jose. You do the thing. If it didn't mean being executed, then why didn't she apologize for it? Oh gosh, I know, right? Being a teenage girl is not an excuse for saying the world leader should be murdered. What? I don't think that's what she said. I don't think that's what she said at all. I'll have to, again, not Swedish, so I have no idea what the actual the actual meaningful, like, I don't think that's what she said. I understand why she probably doesn't want to apologize and probably shouldn't apologize, because it's like she didn't really do anything wrong. It's reactionaries kind of taking it too far. And how about this? If it comes from why do people normally apologize even when they don't do something wrong? I don't know. If that isn't what she said, why did she apologize for it? I don't know. Did she apologize? I don't. I'm gonna let Awkward Pasta and John figure that out because I don't know enough of the details to say anything. All right, our vote is open, closed. We had an absolute landslide, guys. Absolute landslide. 100% of people voted for number 7. So I guess you all want to talk about PragerU today. And like I said, this isn't the full name, and the name that I get on here isn't the actual name. So see if I can find it real quick. Like, where are you, thing? I always struggle with this, and I don't know why. But I did have it from Micro. So the full name of the video is called "Be a Man, Get Married" by PragerU, which PragerU, as always, just will highest quality content from PragerU. I am sure that this will not be any amount of nonsense at all, and it will be 100% serious all the time. Okay. Here we go.
Marriage might have been...
Oh, I'm going to turn that up because that's really quiet for me. Hey, Nestling, how are you? You don't remember the Chihuahua guy? Oh, you're the Chihuahua guy! Oh! Why did we ban you? Why did we ban you? I liked you. Did you say something? You might have. I remember you. Okay, yeah, now I remember you. Yeah, you're the Chihuahua guy. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. I can double check if you want to come back. I don't think we banned you, and I'm sorry if we did, because I genuinely don't remember you saying anything that deserves being banned. Yeah, I don't think so. So it might have been either an accident or it might have. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, Jose. If you, I can try to. I probably won't do it at this very second. Maybe during the break, I can go back and see if you're banned. I don't know who's banned on this from the channel, but I can go back and unban your other account. You're welcome to hang out with this account, obviously. But no, I don't remember you saying anything out of line, so I apologize if that happened. Because like I said, I remember having perfectly good conversations with you, so I apologize for that. I can't type with my name. Okay, so I'll try to figure out during the break. I'm real sorry about that, but shit happens. I don't understand YouTube, so so it'll probably happen again, but I will figure it out during the break. Okay. What are we gonna talk about? Greta? Were we gonna look up Greta things? Okay. I feel like people wanted to look up Greta things, which is fine. We can look up Greta things. So let's do Greta Thunberg, and let's see if I can actually get you all to well, that's sort of house it, but not really. Where you at? Greta Thunberg? Bam. Okay, so here we got Greta Thunberg in the news. What do you got in the news from Greta Thunberg? Oh, I guess she did apologize, according to Fox News. So let's just click on Fox News. Greta Thunberg apologizes for against the wall remark, plans a break from climate activism. Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old Swedish climate activist, apologized Saturday after telling the crowd of young supporters on the a day earlier while speaking in English that politicians should be put up against the wall. Critics alleged that remark delivered in Turin, Italy, meant she was advocating for violence against leaders who dodged their responsibilities for climate change. I think that's definitely a reactionary thing. We have to make sure that they cannot do that. Thunberg told the crowd, "We will make sure that we put them up against the wall, and they will have to do their job and protect the future." God, even in English, that doesn't actually sound like it's really advocating for violence all that much. And again, considering like I'm gonna go with, probably considering that the people who are probably the maddest about this stuff are also probably the people who are okay with a lot of the other shit that gets kind of thrown around by politicians. Yeah. Uh, yeah, putting their backs against the wall is the kind of way I could see that. I don't. I think the reaction is probably what's the word for it? It's probably fabricated. It's probably fabricated because reactionaries seem to be the ones who are upset about it, not like, you know, other people. Okay, so hello, Luke. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Hmm. Okay, so marriage. Be a man, get married by Prager U. Let's see what we got here.
Fine for your parents or grandparents, but of what value is it today? Isn't it, as more and more young people seem to be saying, just a piece of paper?
I mean, I mean, I do that shit all the time where I will directly translate something from Danish without thinking about of it if it works. Yeah, and it's like even in English, right? We have a lot of idioms and expressions that we use in English that make no goddamn sense if you just sort of say them, and take them literally. Story from when I did in-home therapy, ABA in-home therapy, was we had I had a kid, and one of the things is on the autism spectrum. One of the things that happens a lot is that individuals have a really hard time understanding the difference between metaphors and things that are and reading things literally. So things like idioms are really hard to understand sometimes because um, individuals take them very literally. And so I had a kid once who we were working on something, and I told him, "Oh, you're doing great. You're on fire," which is an American expression of saying, you're doing really great. You're doing awesome. And he actually freaked out for a second because I told him that he was on fire. And so I took it literally. So yeah, even even English expressions you can't really take them literally. That's kind of why they're expressions, and why they're idioms, because they don't mean exactly what the words themselves mean. Okay, that's a fun English lesson there. Marriage, it's just a piece of paper. This guy talks like he needs to have his dose of Valium reduced. It's true. He's a little slow there. Is marriage just a piece of paper? I mean, if you want it to be just a piece, there's we're gonna take marriage advice from the one person who's married here. Like it can be right. Like a lot of it is it really depends on how what your culturally you wanna accept it as. I don't think that there is a definition of marriage that should be used for everyone. For some people, it's more of a cultural thing. I think back in September, I went to a wedding. A friend of mine got married. Not married though. That's the funny part. They had a ceremony, so they threw a party, had an officiant just kind of say some nice things about them, and talk about this is great. We all we love each other. And we come together to say that we'll stay together, kind of thing, right? And they had this great big ceremony party afterwards and whatnot. It's lots of fun. Not legally binding. They never got a marriage license. It wasn't done by somebody who can actually marry anybody in the state of Iowa. There was just a you know bring your friends along and have a little party and celebrate your union together. Is it a marriage? Sure, if they want it to be one, that's what it can be. It doesn't have to. You don't have to go through all the rigmarole to get married. If you wanted to just be a piece of paper, if you wanted to just be like, hey, we need to get married because we can. You do get legal benefits, which are really nice, like being able to hospital visits and things like that without having to go through a whole lot. It's useful. So it's so those kinds of things are very useful to they can be kind of useful. It's kind of a thing. So if you so it's Is it a piece of paper? It's up to you. The Constitution is literally a piece of parchment, not really actually paper, but it has the idea of it presented that matters. A $100 bill is just a piece of cloth with ink on it, but it has great value. Yeah. So yeah, it's so it can have. I think marriage can have whatever value you want to instill in it. If you want to instill it, great. If you just want to say it's a piece of paper and it's just a legally bonding document, then whatever. If you want it to be more than that, then that's good on you. I don't think you should. I'm not to diminish your idea of marriage, but it's what it is. What it is.
It turns out that piece of paper might be the most valuable thing you will ever own. Take the case of Doug Talby. At age 18, Talby worked a minimum wage job operating a press
I love how he's an anarchist, or at least has an anarchist T-shirt.
at a factory in Indiana and lived in his parents' basement. I didn't have a care in the world, Talby says. I didn't even have any bills. But after marrying at 19 and having kids, Talby's perspective changed. I had to step up and think about others and start taking care of them.
Okay, that's so. Again, this isn't like this isn't this one. This isn't necessary. This isn't necessarily held by marriage. Like having a community or having a family. His mistake was marrying at 19. That was a very dumb idea. But all of these things, like there's nothing that marriage necessitates for these things to be possible, right? There's nothing marriage doesn't you can have a meaningful relationship with another person without having been married. You can have a very meaningful relationship. Growing up, there was a couple that lived down the street that I think they'd been together like 20 years, but never bothered to get married. They moved out and I, lost them forever. But you don't like marriage isn't. There's nothing magical about getting married or having the government tell you that you're married that actually makes your relationship special in any way, shape, or form, right? Like the relationship is special, should be, honestly, if you want it to be that way. Your relationship should be special regardless of whether the government says that your relationship is special. If you need the government to tell you that your relationship is special, I think you might be fucking it up. Like, not gonna lie, you probably shouldn't be getting married to do that. Plenty of people who get married still don't give a shit about other people. See PragerU. There you go. So yeah, so you don't need the government to tell you your relationships are special. You should be able to do that on your own. I have seen though in the past, I've had one of my coworkers sort of do this or tried to do this like a couple of years ago, where she and her boyfriend lived very far apart. And so she was very tired of like commuting back and forth, and I think was having some like relationship problems as well. And so her solution to having relationship problems and having a long distance relationship was to get married. Marriage is also not a solution. Marriage is another problem. Not that it's a problem, but it's marriage isn't a solution to lots of these things. And I've seen that happen before where people think of marriage as a solution, like, oh, or even children. Actually, we talked about this in psychology a little bit in my social psych class, where people think of like, oh, our relationship isn't doing that well. Maybe if we get married, then that'll make our relationship special. Again, you don't need the government to do it, and just because you say that it's special doesn't actually make your relationship special. It should be special without marriage, and then you should get married afterwards. If your relationship isn't special without marriage, then you're doing it wrong. Same thing with children. That happens a lot with couples who are having relationship problems, and then they have children to sort of solve their problem, like have something else to focus on, but that doesn't act like those things are or a problem regardless of whether you have children or whether you're married or not. Oh, my parents got married because my mom got pregnant with me. Yeah, I think that's why my parents got married too. My parents are very happily married still, so I think they made the right choice, but I think that's also why they got married. So entirely, I understand. That's what my parents said too. But they stayed happily married afterwards. That's like putting the marriage proposal in Spider-Man kind of tragic. Yeah. Ah. So yeah, so don't do it. Okay.
Talby quit his factory job and joined the army. where he made significantly more money and received housing and health care paid for by the military.
Trigger you. Are you advocating for government paid health care? Are you advocating for government paid housing? Prager you. Prager you. This is how you win me over. I do love this because God, now we're gonna go into like this has nothing to do with marriage now, but Prager you just did advocate for government paid healthcare and the benefits of it. That's like way to go. It's okay if it's the military. Yeah, I see that. I have a lot of military friends, and they absolutely hate the idea of like Medicare for all or universal healthcare or any of that nonsense. They absolutely hate it while they get their government paid healthcare. And they talk about how a lot of them are baby boomers, and so a lot of them got to go to college for relatively cheap and or free. And they're like, oh, I don't understand kids these days. They don't go to college and whatnot, while they were able to do it on the cheap. But it's good. It's good when they get it. It's just not good when everyone else gets it. That's the problem.
Whenever he saw a chance at promotion, he pursued it. It meant more money and benefits for himself and his family. Recently, in a bid to further boost his family's income, he left the Army to work as a finance manager at a car dealership. He's now pulling in 6 figures. Men who see no...
So, I don't... Okay. It's only funny when I do it. Yeah, so what was it we were talking about? Because so according to research, there's research on how much money you need to make in order to be happy. And according to research, it's around in American monies. I don't know what it is in other people's monies. In American monies, you need somewhere around I think it's between like 50 and 75,000 a year to be happy. And that's like they correlate pretty well. So 50,000 to $75,000 a year in American money in the U.S. is kind of like peak happiness, and then it doesn't actually go up. Like once you hit that, it plateaus, and you're not actually happier the more money you make past a certain amount, because past $75,000, like that more or less pays for all your needs, and everything else is just kind of superficial. So there is research on this, and it's not actually that high. You don't actually need 6 figures. 5 is actually enough, depending on which 5. 5 is actually enough. So if they're making it seems like their marriage will get you more money. Yeah, which is also hilarious. I do love that this is PragerU's argument for why you should get married. Don't get married out of love. Don't get married because you want to have a strong familial bond with other people. Get married because if you get married, you're gonna make more money. Thank you, PragerU, for being so disgustingly obvious with with what you care about, which is get married to make more money, which is again hilarious, just fantastic. He's making more money, but he's also having to pay more. It's true. Yeah, you don't. So I don't. I mean, I make good amount of money, good enough amount of money, right? But it's also the reason that I make good enough amount of money is because I don't have children to take care of. Children are expensive. I forget how much they cost in a lifetime, but it's like in the $500,000 range to have a child, like their whole lifetime or whatever, which is a lot. It's a lot of money. He has more bills, and kids cost more money. Yep. No, it's true. Children do cost more money. Children are expensive. So yeah, it's just don't have children. That one I will definitely argue for. I will not. Just don't have children. They're the worst. Well, there is a thing that married men are more likely to get hired. It draws sympathy from the breadwinner. But with women, it's less. She will be useless in several months. I have heard that before. And I there are definitely research on who gets hired and who doesn't. Women do sort of tend to get the shit under the stick, especially when it does come with some companies, because a lot of places don't offer maternity leave, and so a young woman getting married is usually thought of as, oh, they're just gonna in a couple of months they'll take some time off, take 6 months off, and we can't have them, and so that's not good. Uh, so yeah, so in a way, yeah, you're right. You do get men are more likely to get married men are more likely to get attention and whatnot. There's also if you want to get another reason why you should get married, research and psychology and stuff. So they did let's say, guys want to show off the wedding ring, right? They did a research on women, and married men were found to be, not necessarily are more attractive, but were found to be perceived as more attractive than unmarried men. And it's got something to do, animals do this too, where it's got something to do with like, if you've already been like chosen as a mate by somebody, then there's got to be something good about you somewhere, right? And so women kind of find married men more attractive than unmarried men, which is, if nothing else, it's why you should wear a ring. If nothing else, that's why you should wear a ring, because that's, research has shown that. It's also shown it in birds. Obviously, birds don't get married, but birds that are like paired together, the male bird is attracts more female birds than single birds, if that makes sense. Unpaired birds. Uh, the amount of cost is you never ever ever have any more money ever, but the intangible is more valuable than money, so you come out ahead. That's good. I'm glad. And I know plenty of people who, they're plenty happy with their children and whatnot. So it's not a me thing. I will probably never have children. I have Hobbes. I have Hobbes enough. Hobbes is enough fucking nonsense for me to take. Okay.
No need to marry, or who are reluctant to marry until they make more money, could benefit from Tolby's discovery. Marriage has a transformative effect on the behavior, emotional health, and financial well-being of adults, especially men.
So again, you're getting your cause and effect, they're mixed up, right? Like, having strong familial bonds is good for people. Having a strong community is good for people. If you have these things, you're more likely to be successful. In our culture, that usually culminates in marriage, but you're getting those two backwards. Marriage isn't the thing. Like, that card isn't the thing that makes you that changes your behavior. It's your behavior. Like, if you have if you have a family and all that, that's what changes your behavior. The marriage part is kind of irrelevant to that point. I know that's we kind of, you're just putting it backwards. Except for penguins, they love osmium rings. Do they really? Birds do love their diamond rings, especially men. Yes, always men.
Men who get married work harder and more strategically and earn more money than their single peers from similar backgrounds.
Mm. I mean, I kind of want to say the obvious thing of like, citation needed. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know any studies that would suggest this. It would also make no goddamn sense that, like, so it would make sense that being married causes you to sort of like work harder at things, right? Because you have more responsibilities and all that. But again, I don't necessarily think that's the marriage part. I think that's just the familial bond part. Like, having a family makes you work harder. The marriage part is just kind of added. Like, I think you're getting those wrongs. It is all about money. It's true. It is very. I do still find it very funny how. I mean, it's PragerU, right? But how much PragerU's argument. Oh, there's other cat. Hey, other cat. She's, oh, look at how cute she is. The PragerU's argument is really just like, get married for money, which I do love. I do love that you're saying that. Um, it could easily arise from social norms. As the breadwinner, there are higher expectations from you. Yeah. So again, like, all of this, I can see this being true sort of in like social, like you have higher expectations, but the marriage part is the part I disagree with. Like the like I think you could switch out the sentence with men who have who have meaningful relationships with people, or with somebody, right? Work harder and are more strategic, and earn more money than their single peers. I could see that you could probably change that word out, the married part, but people who have strong communities, or men who have strong connections to other individuals. I think you could change that. I don't necessarily think the married part is it. I'd have to look up. I'm sure there's plenty of studies on marriage and whatnot, so I'd have to look those up. But we're not there yet. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. What was the other thing I want to talk about besides marriage things?
Marriage also transforms men's social world. They spend less time with friends and more time with family.
Oh, that's not a good thing. Sorry. Spend less time with friends. Okay. Also, just to point out, I do love that PragerU's idea of
They spend
spending times with friends is just to sit around and drink. One is if that's a bad thing. Two is if that's the only thing that friends who do together is sit around and drink. Oh gosh. I wonder how they promote marriage to women. Is it coming? I'd love to. Oh, that was the other one. Thank you. Now I remember what I want to talk about. I don't know if PragerU has one. I'm sure they do, because they're conservative assholes. Um, if PragerU has a video on against gay marriage, I would really love to see that. Because according to this video, they should be encouraging gay men to get married, specifically gay men to get married, because like if you are right, PragerU, then we should be encouraging more people to get married. So we shouldn't. There's no reason to have like marriage bans at all, because if you are right, then this is a good way to get more people to be successful and happy and make more money and all those things, right? So I hope, PragerU, that you do not have a video against gay marriage. I really hope you don't have that video. I get the feeling that you do, though. I don't really understand the strategic business. My understanding of my job and career evolved over my life, but when I was not married, had to jack to do with it. Yeah. Um, yeah, marriage. I mean, I've had a lot of different jobs and different careers, and a lot of what I choose to do for sort of for funsies. I don't know, but that's just me.
less time with friends and more time with family. They go to bars less and to church more.
Oh, that's not a good thing. No, that not. God, churchy things. I was kind of God. I've been getting into arguments about stupid religious stuff with people too much. Um, so going to church more does not make you a better person. Otherwise the Catholic Church, right? I don't even have to explain more than that. Otherwise the Catholic Church, right? What about church bars? Oh, that's a good idea. Um, uh, to bars less and the church more. That seems like hell to me. That seems awful, right? Also, I wish it was true, because there are far too many children at the bars that I go to, and I hate it. So if you, yeah, honestly, if you're married and have children, just stay away from bars, especially the ones that I attend. Uh, um, if churches had open bars, I would renounce my atheist ways. I know, right? Oh, I would too. Don't even get me started, kids on bars. Oh, I'm sure Pasta has a whole lot of story. It is the worst. I, ah, oh God, I'm gonna rail against parents. I'm sorry if you're a parent. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna rail against you for a second too. Mostly because so there's a few places that have opened up in Omaha that are like exclusively adult only places, which I think is fantastic, and not just like titty bars, but like um there's a movie theater here. There's actually a chain of movie theaters called Alamo Draft House, um, and they do you have to be 13 or over to go to a movie there. They still play like all the movies, but you have to be 13 or over to go. And if you are like a child and or a teenager or whatever, and you're being too loud, they will kick you right out. Like they have a like no tolerance policy for people being too loud and whatnot, which I love because that happens way too much, right? Um, like which I love, and the reverse. There's a lot of places that have the opposite, which I also love. Which there's a chain of theaters called Marcus Theaters here in Omaha, and they do is I know they do two of these nights. They probably do other ones, but they do a baby friendly night or day where like tickets are like $5 for per person. You can go with infants, and it's oriented towards stay at home parents who can bring their kids to the movies, and it's pretty much expected that if you buy a ticket for this, you cannot complain about the fact that there are screaming children in the movie. And I think that's also fantastic. I think that people with children should have a space to be able to take their kids, where it's socially understood that if you go here, you are going to tolerate screaming children, right? Like you pay and you understand this, and it's fine. But I also think the opposite is, excuse me, the opposite is needed as well, where you have a place where it's like adult oriented and not necessarily like sexualized and adult, but like this is for adults, to be able to be adults without children around. And there's quite a few of them here in Omaha, which I love. The zoo has a adult only night, which is fantastic. They let you they'll have beer. You could buy a beer, walk around the exhibits, and with a beer, and it's only adults around you, so you can talk about everything under the sun, and it's fine rather than having to be there when there's a bunch of kids around. There's a whole lot of places like that, and I think that's fantastic. I think we need more of those. Oh goodness. It should just serve wine, doesn't it? Makes them bars. Oh no. So I do know. So I from in the U.S. we have prohibition like back in the 20s. And a lot of the like the only people who were allowed to make booze were the people who made like wine for churches and stuff, and that was it. Like those were the only people allowed to make wine. And it's thanks to them that breweries and stuff kind of survived prohibition, and there was still like an infrastructure to make booze after prohibition was lifted, was because the people who made church wine were able to just start making wine and booze for everyone else. So it's thanks to them that Americans still have beer, which is I think is great. R&D hates parents because he wishes he had never been born. Oh no. Oh, the parents will bring their kids and let them run amok. Yeah. Like I said, it's fine. Like it's parents. I hope that there are more kid friendly things for you to do, but I also hope that places keep making more adult friendly things to do as well, because I think we need to just. I get tired of children running around, and I bet you get tired of me swearing all the time. So it's okay for us to have our separate spaces, right?
In the words of Nobel Prize winning economist George Akerlof, men settle down when they get married. If they fail to get married, they fail to settle down. My own research bears out Akerlof's view.
Who is this person? What research have you done? I'm guessing none.
Married men work about 400 hours more per year than single men with equivalent backgrounds.
That's not a good thing. What is with you people in like working more? That's way like no. There's such a fetishizing of working extra hours all the time. We had I'm trying to do this at work because my job has been my position and my job has been has been predominantly held by workaholics, my position. And so there is this culture around my position that pushes people to do way more than is humanly capable to do within 40 hours. Way more, right? Um and so this last kind of wave of people who've taken up my position have we showed up with the opposite mentality of like, no, you pay me to be here 40 hours a week. I will be here for 40 hours a week, and I'm not gonna take my work home. I am not going to um I'm not gonna work past my 40-hour work week. And a lot of it in so now like we just had one new person get promoted to my spot, or not my spot, but my same position as me. And within like the first week he was there like 45 minutes early every day. And I'm there 45 minutes early, but that's because I have to make up time for classes, right? Because I missed time for class. And I just like, I don't like working more doesn't necessarily, like, it's not necessarily a good thing to work extra time, right? Like there's so many studies on how much more efficient Americans are, how much more work they do, how much more time they spend at work. That's not like, but that doesn't correlate with like things being better for them. People who work more also have a tendency, since Prager, you mentioned this, also have a tendency to spend less time at home with family, and tend to have that also tends to strain relationships when you're not at home as much and whatnot. So you're kind of you're saying very opposing things here, Prager, you, where on the one hand you're like, yay, you get to spend more time with family, but at the same time you're like, no, you get to spend more time at work. Like I feel like those two things are contradictory, my friend. They don't settle down. What the hell does that even mean? They float. Otherwise, it's an example of deepity. Look up what I do know what a deepities. Yeah, no, it's kind of a meaningless statement, and I could see that. Oh, look, you actually have a source here. United States Department of Labor. Oh, that's cool. Um, married male workers additional hours annual. And so, what was your statement here? I feel like your statement also doesn't bear out in what you're saying here. I'm gonna rewind a tad bit.
Bears out Akerlof's view. Married men work about 400 hours more per year than single men with equivalent backgrounds.
Married male workers additional hours. Oh, okay, 400 extra hours a year. That's what a year has, what, 40 weeks in it. That's 10 extra hours a week working. Jesus fuck, that's awful. That's really bad. Don't do that. Don't do that.
A Harvard study also found that married men were much less likely than their single peers to quit their current job unless they had another one lined up.
Married men were much less likely to. Again, so all of this just points to, again, this fetishizing of work, and work ethic, right? Where I had a friend. This is a friend of mine who was at the same job for like 16 years or something like that. Same job, same position. Um, uh, at the same school, we used to be paras together, for like 16 years, something like that. Some ludicrous amount of time compared to how I am. I think I've held a job the longest is like 3 years that I've held like the exact same job. Um, but otherwise, I've always kind of moved to a different job when you can do it. Like I don't being married also makes you like more cautious about those kinds of changes. So I feel like you're contradicting yourself. That's 8.5 hours more per week. Ooh. Oof, that's a lot. That's way too much. Like that's how much extra work I do, but it's got nothing to do with being married and more to do with going to school. The fact that married work men seems to be because they essentially take over the paid work of women while women do unpaid work at home. That's probably true. Um, I had one of my coworkers is quitting on Friday, or she's already quit, but her last day's on Friday. And one of the reasons that she has to quit, and it's really sad that she has to quit because she's really good at her job, and she'll be missed, is because she recently had a child, and so now like she can't afford daycare on well, not mine because she's a position lower than me, on her pay. And so she's got to quit her job to pretty much be a stay-at-home mom, which is really sad because she's really good at her job, and she's not the first woman in my clinic that's had to do this, where they can't, like, childcare is so expensive that they both can't do, work and childcare at the same time, which is, some of these women are, smart women with great talent, and I really hate it when that kind of things happens, because, you know but, for then again, for all I know, they'd rather be with their children, which honestly I'd rather be at home with the people that I love than at work, so I don't entirely blame them for doing that. Okay, so with that said, um that, like, working an extra day every week, that is so much goddamn time to work. I don't like it. Again, and again, I think it also contradicts what was being said earlier about spending more time with your family. um it's so much. Okay, so with that said, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go use the restroom because I have to, and then enjoy some royalty free music and some fan art, and we'll be back in a little bit.
the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough. 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 Subtle love in the afternoon, show me your jewels. I am the last shogun, show respect to you lose. So hold up, see sight stars fall in the groove. You ran away, see another day, baby, I knew. Like a Dionysus, committing crimes with the lifers. Hands to the sky, so fly and so enlightening. Fell to the earth with a burst, trumpets and lightning. Not breathing, slap on the bottom, king of the fighters. This last born scorn, cause he got the touch of Midas. Let the shit bump, this a song of ice and fire. Him to the tune of power, stronger than desire. Like a whisper in the ear, come near, we going higher. Forget your mortal core, close eyes, anointed oil. Rubbed into your skin, circular patterns are told. Take another sip of this Malbec, we on, we back to Babylon. Baby girl, you just a god. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough. 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 For the love of lust in us, we gon' corrupt. Too much of a good thing, we'll never get up. Lose our jobs, lose the house, but the bed is enough. After that, still got the couch, honey, what's up? Love game amazing, Nirvana states we are chasing. Nothing in this world but us, the walls are fading. Meld into the universe, touch your soul crazy. Tantric on my antics, so yes, you are my plaything. Tracing diagrams in the palms of your hands. Lips to the nape of your neck and former lands. Interlace face, navigate to your waist. This trip is the beginning, I'm sending them at the gates. Slowly going in, just wishing this never ends. Eyes wide shut, you moaning, so let's begin. Holding me in your chalice, your palace where I live. Walls made of mercury, certainly you my rib. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. For the love of lust in us, we gonna erupt. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough. Hold tight, baby girl, cause it's never enough.
right, everyone, and we're back. Oh, if I can get things right. There we go. We're back and things. So I wanted to, let's see, did this move over? Yeah. So I wanted to try to see if I can find, nope, it did not move over. Find one of the sources that, PragerU used. Because I get the feeling that it's wrong. So let me go back here. So I looked up this NLS 97, and this is more or less what I found, but I haven't read through it. So I figured we could give it a little read. See if they have anything on this really, but I don't know if they do. National Resident sample of approximately 9,000 youths who were old as of December. What? Okay, it's a longitudinal survey. That's great. So how does this PragerU? Did you just cite random shit? I feel like PragerU just cited random shit. Not gonna lie, guys. Not gonna lie. Yes, I am finally done retrieving things from the bathroom. Okay, so I don't know about the study or this thing that PragerU cited, because I don't think it really shows what it thinks it does. School. Oh, here we go. School enrollment. High school enrollment. Employment of teenagers during school years. Employment of experience of youth during school years in the summer. Employment experience of youth result for the first 3 years of the longitudinal survey. Employment experience. Man. So it might be somewhere in here, but goddamn, this is probably more than I'm willing to go through. Labor market. American young adults at 25, school enrollment, number of jobs held, job labor. Maybe this one will be it. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, goodness. Oh, here we go. Percent of individuals who have earned a bachelor's degree. There's a lot. There's a lot in here, guys. But not much on hours, school enrollment, employee status, and school. Percent of works were employed, unemployed. I'm trying to find one on the hours, right? Duration of employmentship. And a single employee from all jobs. Oh, and that's it. I'm gonna have to look at this more, I think. I'm gonna keep this open and see about looking it up more. But for now, we got more PragerU stuff. More PragerU stuff. Always more PragerU stuff, which is always fantastic. It's buried in the fine print. I bet it's in there somewhere, and I'd probably have to find. It seems like married male workers additional hours per year. So the thing that sort of got me curious about this is, so I think the statement, and let me go back just a tad bit.
Than single men. Without Akerlof's view, married men work about 400 hours more per year than single men with equivalent backgrounds.
So he says that they work 400 hours more per year. Married male workers additional hours annual. The thing is, I don't know. That does not seem right. So
a Harvard study also found that married men earn almost 20% more than their single peers. That's even after controlling for differences in education, race, ethnicity, and other background factors. You can read more about this in my study, For Richer, for Poorer, How Family Structures Economic Success in America. Why is there such a substantial marriage premium?
Yeah, I don't...
There are at least 4 important reasons. 1, after marrying, men assume a new identity. Marriage is one of the last rites of passage into manhood remaining in our society.
What? All right, rites of passage. No. Oh, goodness. you all and your God, Prager, you all and your manliness stuff. So you don't like I said earlier, like I don't buy into this idea that somehow marriage changes you. It's like if you get married because you're gonna make more money, you should not be getting married. Yeah, like I'm confuzzled by what the argument, because that really is the argument, right? Like you should get married because you'll make more money, not even though like that's such a terrible reason to get married. But that seems to really be the argument that's being made, because single guys need more time to go out and look for action, but married men just need to go home. uh, Except that if you get married, you work more hours, which means you spend less time at home. Like you literally work from the early statistics. We literally work, married men apparently, and I know it's true for me, but again, also because I go to school, not because I like working. I apparently work more, whole extra day worth of work, and spend less time with family, which also, if we were to define sort of spouses as not just like not just spouses, but also as like meaningful relationships or something, or significant others, then by PragerU's own studies, married men spend 10 hours a week less, or 8.5 or whatever we found it to be, 8.5 hours a week less with their significant other than single men do. So, but again, you make less money, so I guess money is more important than the amount of time you spent with your significant other. Way to go, PragerU, to tell me that it's more important for a married man to spend time working than it is for a single man to spend more time with their significant other. So see how I can use statistics too? The very statistics you use, which I'm very doubtful of, but the very statistics you use show you that married men spend 10 hours less a week with their significant other than single men, or not single, than men with in a meaningful relationship. I guess they're not single because whatever. So
Argues sociologist Stephen Knock. He found that marriage engenders an ethic of responsibility among men, as well as a newfound sense of meaning and status in the world. 2, married men are motivated to maximize their income.
Why? Okay. PragerU, always about money. I swear to God, always about money.
This means having a different attitude toward their job. They work more hours and make better work choices. Studies find that men increase their work hours after marrying and reduce their hours after divorcing. Sociologist Elizabeth Gorman concludes that married men are more likely to value higher paying jobs than their single peers.
I mean, they probably, so, God. Oh no, vending machine has no Kit Kats, that's sad. Oh, it's also, so again, you're putting way too much value into money. And 2, as it's been pointed out before, they also probably spend way more money than I do, right? Like the amount of expenses that I have are probably way lower than the amount of expenses of one of my married peers with children. I don't have daycare to pay for. Also, because my wife and I don't have children, we have 2 incomes that can come in all the time. 0 of that goes to childcare, diapers, whatever, all the other things the children need, which is a lot. And yeah, correlation does not mean causation. Exactly. So that's all. There's so many problems with everything you are doing. I would actually like to see some of these studies, and God, but I do not want to read more studies. I've read so many goddamn studies. But yeah, so I also married men are more likely to value their higher paying jobs. Value, God, I'd have to find your definition of value. Need is probably more accurate, but again, the problem with you guys is that while you use people's names and whatnot, you very rarely, and none of this has in any of this has PragerU at any moment shown us an actual statistic, right? Like they could like an actual bit from the paper. They just said this person said this, um or this, this other person said this, or this study said this, but they don't actually show us the results of those studies. And that in and of itself is kind of shady, because I get the feeling, knowing PragerU, that a lot of those studies are a lot of those results that they say are probably taken out of either context, or the studies don't actually say what they say they say it is. There was only chocolate chip cookies, Babe Ruth, and peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms are good. That's
3. There is evidence that employers prefer and promote men who are married. Married men are often seen as more responsible and dedicated workers and are rewarded with more opportunities to advance.
I mean, so we talked about this earlier. You're right. But that's also not a good thing. Like, that's not a good thing, right? Like, this is just this stereotyping people, which is not good. I feel like you should probably be promoting people for doing their job, not because they're married, right? Like, I almost, I mean, you kind of are showing how, like, again, you're contradicting yourself with, like, the extra work and whatnot, like that they are perceived to be more responsible, which I'm sure they are, but that being perceived to be more responsible and being more responsible are not they're not necessarily the same thing. False advertisement. It is false advertisement. Babe Ruth is bad candy. There's no such thing as Babe Ruth bar, and there never was. Oh, is that a Mandela effect thing? Are we in Mandela effect thing?
4th and finally, married men benefit from the advice and encouragement of their wives, who have an obvious interest in their success. There is no better motivator than your spouse. The tragedy is that despite...
Again, probably true. Also, probably has little to do with the married part, more to do with having a significant other, or being in a meaningful relationship with someone else that probably has that going on. Having the support, like having support from your community, including, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, is better for you than not having those things. But that's the marriage thing is probably not the thing that's doing it. It's probably just the fact that you are have somebody who's supportive of you. So really, all you are saying is that having someone who's supportive of you is good for you, and that's right. That doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse of some variety. I also do, and I've seen that you've done this, PragerU, but back to the gay marriage thing, I see that you've chosen to make sure that you only show a heterosexual couple every time, because while you want to promote marriage, you want to promote the right kind of marriage, right? Don't want to promote any of that gay marriage nonsense. No one since there's no such thing as Bay Fruit Bar is called Baby Ruth and has always been. What? Mandela effect. It's a Bay Fruit Bar. No. Did we just I think we just went into I'm fairly certain that we just went into a different dimension where Babe Ruth bars are now called Baby Ruth bars. So and I'm 100% sure of this. And I'm going to look this up because I can. So, let's go to Google. Babe Ruth. No, Ruth. Oh my goodness. Babe Ruth bar. Goodness. Oh, it is a Baby Ruth. Mandela effect. Oh, look, there's a history thing on it. Huh. I still think it's a Bay Fruit Bar. And we've been living this. We obviously, what has obviously happened and is the only possible explanation for this is that we have been transported to a different dimension. Yeah. So yeah. It's I guess it is called a Baby Ruth bar. Oh no, Trump is president here. Take me back to my universe where Greta Thunberg had just declared a monarchy. Oh no. It is a long story. The company claimed it was named after Grover Cleveland's daughter, but the story is suspect even though it was accepted by the court of law. So, was that a thing like, they were trying to be opportunistic about Babe Ruth, and then they named it Baby Ruth, but it's not actually. Oh, that makes sense. Clever bastards. I love it.
All the good news we keep learning about the benefits of marriage. The institution is in retreat. In 1960, 72% of all adults ages 18 and older were married. Today, it's 49%.
Good.
In 1960, the average age at which men married was 23. Today, it's 29.
Good.
The consequences of this are negative across the income spectrum.
Oh, no. No. That's exactly what they did. Good. Oh, goodness. He kind of looks like a slightly overweight Hitler. Babe Ruth? Or this guy? The consequence of negative across the income. Okay. I know what you're going to do, PragerU, because you're incredibly predictable. That you're going to blame the horrible income inequality, probably, or just the fact that people don't get paid enough and all that nonsense, right? You're going to blame all of that on lower marriages, right? You see this correlation. Since the 1960s, marriage has been going downward, and income has been shittier. So you see this negative. Is it a positive? This positive correlation. Is it positive? Right? As both decrease. If one decreases, the other one decreases. That's a positive correlation. I forget. I don't think it's a negative correlation. I think it's a positive correlation. I forget how correlations work. Either way, you see this correlation, right? And you're gonna say that the fact that the reason that there is such negative income consequences, or whatever you want to call them, is because of marriage, right? As opposed to potentially it being the opposite, or the other relationship, right? Because the thing about correlations is you don't know. You know that there's a relationship between them, but you don't know how that relationship works. You just know that there is a relationship between them. Or maybe not even, they're just a correlation, right? They're not, I shouldn't even say there's a relationship between them. You just know that they're correlated. So it could be, PragerU, that negative, so the fact that the economy is crappy is the fact that people are getting married less, not people are getting married less, therefore the economy is crappy. So both of those could be part of the correlation. There could also be a third variable that we're not accounting for. So, yeah.
But they are especially so for those in the lower and middle classes. Marriage is a clear path to a better life. It always has been. And now we have plenty of data to confirm it. But if you still don't believe me, just ask Doug Talby and millions like him. I'm Brad Wilcox, Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Virginia for Prager University.
Prager University. I thought you weren't a university, PragerU.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here. To help keep our videos free, donate here.
Oh, all right. We made it. We made it, you all. We listened to it, and I hate it. I hate it so much. What? Or he's half Manberry. Yeah, he was kind of a little big guy there. A lot of people in Haiti are married. Oh no. I would actually. I'm really curious about some of the studies that have actually been run on marriage and whatnot. Again, they could be correct in so far as that there is a correlation. I don't have any real reason to doubt that there's a correlation. However, I get the feeling that we don't know the relationship between those correlations, right? We just know that there is one, probably, and so assuming that the one is causing the other is kind of iffy at best. Okay, so with that done, we finished the video, so we'll get ourselves a nice little reward here in a second. Also, I think we might be done with the show. I know we have like half an hour left, but I don't know how to fill that half an hour. um, uh, I have to read the whole sentence. Where's the whole sentence? I already lost the whole sentence. Oh goodness, I lost it. It's in there somewhere. Okay, you have to read the whole sentence. Half man bear and half pig. Man bear pig. What? Goose. We could probably play a little bit of Goose Game. Why not? Okay, for first things first. Pick a number between 1 and 36. So important things first. Oh,
11.
it's actually animated on my phone. Check it out. I didn't know it did that. That's kind of cool. Oh, I can roll a d20. Oh, look at that.
10 and 20 for a total of 30.
Look at that. Since when can you do this? Oh, sorry. Now I'm fascinated by the fact that my phone can roll a d20. Roll a d20. Look at that nonsense.
It's 20.
Oh, I got a 20. Oh, that's so cool. I forgot what our number was. 11, right? That's on my phone has, well, my phone could roll it. It never gave me like a picture. Like, this is new for my phone. It never showed it to me on screen. It always just kind of told it to me. That is so cool. You think the Stephen Warford video can be done in half an hour? It's not too controversial. I forget somebody on Twitter told me that I should watch it, and I don't remember why. Probably something stupid. I did hear that he went into some rather, or I'm told that he went into some rather racist good things, but again, I haven't really watched the whole thing, so who knows? Maybe it is uncontroversial. But I try not to watch the videos too much before I put them on here, just because part of the fun is watching them with you all. Not all. I did crit. Okay, so I think we are gonna stop here for now. We'll try to play a little bit of Goose Game, I think, but it's gonna be a new stream. We'll do that. We'll do a new stream with Goose Game. So if you want to hang out if you want to go to that stream, we'll do a little bit of Goose Game. I do want to keep them separated though, because reasons, right? So thank you everyone for being here. I do truly appreciate you all being here as always. Lots of fun always listening to Prigger You. Thank you, Pasta. Thank you, Micro Insider, Luke, Evan Williams. Oh my god, Jello, Jose. I really apologize for the confusion with your with you being banned or whatnot. I don't remember why and if I banned you. I don't feel like I would have. So I will try to get that fixed. So I do apologize. But thank you everyone for being here. I do appreciate it. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.